Hi students, so today in this video I will continue the discussion of locus. So already in the previous video I uploaded some numericals based on locus, so we will continue from there. So this is the question: the equation of perpendicular bisectors of two sides AB and AC of a triangle ABC are given. So equations of perpendicular bisectors are given. If circumradius of triangle ABC is 2, then what is the locus of vertex A? Okay, so equation of perpendicular bisectors of two sides AB and AC are given. So I'll show you here. In triangle ABC, let us assume the perpendicular bisector of AB. What is the perpendicular bisector basically? So perpendicular bisector means which bisects AB, bisects into two halves, and which is perpendicular to AB. So I will take the perpendicular bisector of AB like this, and I will take the perpendicular bisector of AC like this. And what is the point of intersection of perpendicular bisectors? It is nothing but circumcenter. So the point of intersection of these perpendicular bisectors will give us the circumcenter, which generally we take as S. So how to get this circumcenter? It is simple. Solving these perpendicular bisectors. Point of intersection is nothing but solving, no? So we will solve these perpendicular bisectors now. So x plus y plus 1 is equal to 0. This is perpendicular bisector of AB. And x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. This is perpendicular bisector of AC. Let us solve these two. So I am adding these two. So adding plus y minus y cancel. So 2x plus 2 is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to minus 2. We will get x is equal to minus 1. Substitute this in either first or second equation. Anything is okay. So let us substitute in x plus y plus 1 is equal to 0. This one. So x is minus 1 plus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore minus 1 plus 1 cancel, y is equal to 0. So by solving the two perpendicular bisectors, we got minus 1 comma 0. So what is the point of intersection of these perpendicular bisectors? Circumcenter. Therefore, we got that the circumcenter S is minus 1 comma 0. So this we got as minus 1 comma 0. Okay. Now what we have to find? Locus of vertex A we have to find. So locus of vertex A is required. So let us take A as x comma y. Circumradius is given as 2. We know that the length of the line joining vertices to circumcenter is nothing but circumradius capital R. Circumradius is nothing but the length of the line joining vertex to the circumcenter. This circumradius is given as 2 actually. So from figure it is clear that AR will be circumradius. Sorry, AS will be circumradius from figure. Okay, so AS is nothing but line joining vertex to circumcenter. So this AS circumradius is given as 2 in the question. Now we know A, we know S, use distance formula. Okay, so AS is given as 2. So AS square will be 4. Use distance formula for AS square. This is S, this is A, use distance formula. So we will get x plus 1 whole square plus y square is equal to 4. So this is the equation of locus of the point ax comma y, that is locus of the vertex ax comma y. We can further simplify this. So without simplification, this represents actually the equation of a circle. This is standard equation of a circle. So if I simplify this, we will get x square plus y square plus 2x is equal to 3. So after simplification, we are going to get like this. So generally this locus geometrically represents a circle. Okay, so let us go to next problem now. So the vertices of a triangle are 1 comma root 3, 2 cos theta, 2 sin theta, 2 sin theta minus 2 cos theta. 3 vertices of a triangle are given. Locus of orthocenter of the triangle is required. So basically we have to understand that when we check all the vertices carefully, every vertex is equidistant from the origin. Okay, so let us check that. So let us take the vertices as A 1 comma root 3, B 2 cos theta comma 2 sin theta, and C 2 sin theta minus 2 cos theta. I am taking vertices like this. So what is the distance of the vertex A from origin? Use distance formula. You will get under root 1 minus 0 whole square plus root 3 minus 0 whole square. So clearly it is root 4 or 2. So what is the distance of the vertex B from origin? So using distance formula, you get 2 cos theta whole square plus 2 sin theta whole square. This is just distance formula from B to origin. So under root 4 cos square theta plus 4 sin square theta we will get. So therefore under root, if we take 4 common here, cos square theta plus sin square theta is anyhow 1. Similarly, we get the distance of vertex C from origin is also root 4 we get. So what is now? So the distance of all the vertices from origin is same. So what is the point which is equidistant from the vertices? The point equidistant from vertices is called as circumcenter. So origin is equidistant from vertices means origin is circumcenter here. So therefore we can conclude that circumcenter of triangle ABC is origin. Circumcenter is origin. Locus of orthocenter of the triangle is required. So we know that the line joining orthocenter and circumcenter is divided by centroid in the ratio 2:1. So using section formula, centroid G will be 2 into S plus 1 into H by 2 plus 1. So this is the relation connecting circumcenter, orthocenter and centroid. So what we will get is 3G is equal to 2S plus H. This is the relation connecting all three. So here we got that circumcenter is origin. So when circumcenter is origin, we get that 3G is equal to H. Because circumcenter is origin, 2 into origin means that is 0 only. 0 comma 0 we will get. So therefore H is nothing but 3G. And now orthocenter locus is required. So therefore let us take this orthocenter as x comma y and centroid, since vertices are given, using centroid formula we will find centroid. So 3 into, apply centroid formula here. What is centroid formula? x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. So 1 plus 2 cos theta plus 2 sin theta by 3. This is x coordinate of centroid. Y coordinate y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So this is centroid. So 3 into centroid is equal to orthocenter H. So locus of orthocenter is required. So hence let us consider the orthocenter as x comma y. So I am taking out this condition now because already we have discussed the condition and I wrote the condition here. So H means x comma y. Orthocenter taken as x comma y because locus of orthocenter is required. So now when we multiply with 3, we get 1 plus 2 cos theta plus 2 sin theta, comma, root 3 plus 2 sin theta minus 2 cos theta is equal to x comma y. So equate x and y coordinates separately. So when we equate the x coordinates, we get x is equal to 1 plus 2 cos theta plus 2 sin theta, which means x minus 1 can be written as 2 cos theta plus 2 sin theta. Let this be 1. When we equate the y coordinates separately, we get y is equal to root 3 plus 2 sin theta minus 2 cos theta. So we can write this as y minus root 3 is equal to 2 sin theta minus 2 cos theta. Let this be 2. Now to get the locus equation of locus, we have to eliminate this cos theta sin theta. So whenever you have cos and sin functions, to eliminate theta, we use the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So in order to get that identity, let us consider squaring and adding these two equations. So if we add by squaring these two, we will definitely get the identity here. Okay, so let us check now. Squaring and adding. That is equation 1 whole square plus equation 2 whole square. So this we have to do now. Okay, so squaring and adding. I'll try to write at the top now. So squaring and adding, x minus 1 whole square plus y minus root 3 whole square is equal to 2 cos theta plus 2 sin theta whole square plus 2 sin theta minus 2 cos theta whole square. So now if you see the RHS part, RHS part is actually a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square model. We can write this as 2 sin theta plus 2 cos theta also. So a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square, which will be 2 times of a square plus b square. Okay, so a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square means 2 times of square of first term plus square of second term. So this is 4 cos square theta plus 4 sin square theta. So when you take 4 common, it is going to be 4 into cos square plus sin square means 1. So what is the RHS now? This RHS we will get 8. So the locus of x comma y is x minus 1 whole square plus y minus root 3 whole square is equal to 8. So this is the equation of locus, and geometrically this represents equation of a circle. Okay, so let us go to next problem now. So if theta is parameter, vertex A is a cos theta comma a sin theta. Vertex B is B sin theta minus B cos theta, and C is 1 comma 0. Then the locus of centroid of triangle ABC is required. So this is pretty much similar to the previous problem actually, because 3 vertices are given. Centroid locus is required. So since locus of centroid is required, let us consider the centroid of triangle ABC as Gx comma y. We will take centroid like this, and we will use the formula of centroid because all the vertices are given. Okay, so therefore x comma y is equal to, what is formula of centroid? x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. This is x coordinate of centroid, y coordinate y1 plus y2 plus y3, that means 0 by 3. So this is the application of centroid formula. Now let us equate the x and y coordinates on both sides. This implies equating x coordinates. So x is equal to a cos theta plus b sin theta plus 1 by 3, and y is equal to, y coordinates equating a sin theta minus b cos theta by 3. So now I am cross multiplying this denominator. So 3x is equal to a cos theta plus b sin theta plus 1, and 3y is equal to a sin theta minus b cos theta. So in order to get the equation of locus, I will take this 1 to the left side first. So 3x minus 1 is equal to a cos theta plus b sin theta, whereas 3y is equal to a sin theta minus b cos theta. Equation is in terms of sin theta cos theta. So therefore, to eliminate theta here, we use the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So in order to get that identity, we consider squaring and adding. Okay, so squaring and adding both these equations. Squaring and adding 3x minus 1 whole square plus 3y whole square is equal to a cos theta plus b sin theta whole square plus a sin theta minus b cos theta whole square. Now let us see the RHS part simplification. So RHS, clearly this is in the model of a plus b whole square this side and a minus b whole square this side. So therefore, when we simplify these two, we will get the identity sin square plus cos square is equal to 1. So that model identity definitely we will get. So let us simplify this now. Use a plus b whole square here. So a square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta plus 2ab cos theta sin theta. So this is first term. Come to second term, a minus b whole square model. So therefore we will get a square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta minus 2ab sin theta cos theta. So clearly you can cancel out these terms. Now in these two, a square is common. So cos square theta plus sin square theta left, which is 1. B square is common. Sin square theta plus cos square theta 1. So therefore when you take a square common in these two, a square into 1 you will get. B square common in these two, so b square into sin square plus cos square 1. So this is the equation of locus of the point x comma y, which is also centroid. So locus of centroid of triangle ABC is this equation. Okay, now let us go to next question. So if a, x1, x2, x3 and so on up to infinity, b, y1, y2, y3 so on up to infinity form two infinite GPs. Both are infinite GPs only with same common ratio r. So for both infinite GPs, common ratio is same, that is r. Okay. Then the locus of p, h, comma k when h is given like this and k is given like this. Locus of p, h, comma k is required. Okay. So first let us take this infinite GP. We know that nth term of a GP is a into r power n minus 1, where a is the first term and r is the common ratio. This is the formula for nth term of a GP. Okay, so when we go to second infinite GP here, first term here b comes, common ratio is anyhow same. So this is the formula to get the nth term of GP. Now let us take this h now. Nth root means we can write x1, x2, x3 so on xn whole power 1 by n. We can write like this. Okay, so what is x1? x1 is actually second term of this GP. So find the second term using this nth term formula. So x1 is second term. So put n is equal to 2 here. So x1 is ar. x2, which is third term, means take n is equal to 3 ar square. x3, which is fourth term of the GP, to take n is equal to 4 ar cube, and the process continues like this. What is going to be xn? Now xn is actually n plus 1th term of this infinite GP. So you can clearly see that when we take x1, x2, x3 so on up to xn, without this a, xn is going to be nth term. Without a. But actually a is the first term, so therefore we are going to add one more term for that. Without a, this is the nth term. So if you add a also, this is going to be n plus 1th term of this infinite GP. xn is n plus 1th term. So put n plus 1 here. Put n plus 1 here. What you will get? A into r power n you will get. Okay. So a into r power n whole power 1 by n I will take. Now clearly we have x1, x2, x3 so on up to xn means these are actually n terms product. So in every term you have a here. So a, it is multiplied n times. So a power n will come. For r, you can see bases are same. So you can add the powers. So r power 1 plus 2 plus 3. R power 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on up to n. Whole power 1 by n. Okay, so I can write this as a power n, r power 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on up to n means what? Sigma n. For sigma n directly we have formula n into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so whole power 1 by n is there. Now simplify. A power n whole power 1 by n means a will come. And this whole power 1 by n means r power n plus 1 by 2 will come. This is actually h. Now in the same process, we can solve this also. What is the difference between the first and the second infinite GP? The first term of the infinite GP is going to change, but common ratio remains the same. So when you are solving this one, your answer will be similar to this. What changes is the first term only, because common ratio is same for this also. For this also common ratio is R only. This will remain as it is, and instead of A you will get B when you are solving this. So directly I will write similarly, when we solve this one, we will get K is equal to B into R power n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so I can write this as H by A is equal to R power n plus 1 by 2, and here we can write K by B is equal to R power n plus 1 by 2. R power n plus 1 by 2 we can eliminate now. Both are R power n plus 1 by 2 only, no? So equating both of them. So equating both of them, we have H by A is equal to K by B. So therefore cross multiplying, we get B into H is equal to A into K. This is the locus of H comma K. So locus of the point H comma K is required means finally you must get an equation in terms of H and K. We got here. So if you want the locus in terms of X comma Y, just replace H comma K with X comma Y if you want the locus in terms of X and Y. So if you replace H comma K with X comma Y, H is replaced with X and K is replaced with Y. So this is the locus in terms of X and Y. So this is the locus, means equation of locus in terms of X and Y. So A4 comma 0, B minus 4 comma 0 are 2 points, means 2 fixed points. The locus of P which moves such that this geometrical condition is satisfied. So locus of P is required. So let us take P x comma y be a point on the locus. This is the condition given. So when we remove modulus, PA minus PB will be plus or minus 6. Now for our simplification to be easy, I will take this PB to the right side. So PA is equal to PB plus or minus 6. Now let us do squaring on both sides, because PA PB means when you use distance formula you will get under root something you will get. So to eliminate this square root, I am considering squaring on both sides. So when you do squaring on both sides, PA square is equal to PB plus or minus 6 whole square. So PB plus or minus 6 whole square means PB square plus 36 plus or minus 2 into PB into 6. So plus or minus 12 into PB we will get. So for PA square PB square, since square is there, so when we use distance formula square root will not come. But for this one square root will come. So therefore I will keep this as it is at present. And after some time let us try to eliminate square root from this also. Okay. So I will write PA square now. PA square, use distance formula. This is P, this is A. Use distance formula. So x minus 4 whole square plus y square. PB square. So this is P, this is B. X plus 4 whole square plus y square plus 36 plus or minus 12 PB. Okay, so simplifying now. So x minus 4 whole square, x square minus 8x plus 16 plus y square, x plus 4 whole square, x square plus 8x plus 16 plus y square plus 36 plus or minus 12 PB. PB at present I am keeping as it is because square root will come, no? Therefore I am not writing that at present. So x square cancel on both sides, y square cancel on both sides, this 16 also cancel on both sides. Now Since this PB contains square root, keeping this PB on this RHS side, remaining all terms I will shift to LHS. Okay, so see carefully. Minus 8x. 8x. So this 8x come to this side means minus 8x minus 8x. So minus 16x. This 36 comes to this side means minus 36 is equal to plus or minus 12 into PB. Okay. So now we can take 2 common. Of course 4 common we can take. So I can take 4 common and cancel with the RHS part. Okay. So minus also I will take common. So minus 4 common means 4x minus 9 is left. 4x plus 9 is left. So here plus or minus 12 into PB. So 4 3 times I will cancel. Now if we do squaring on both sides, here PB square will come. That means square root is eliminated. So again squaring on both sides. So again squaring on both sides. So in LHS this minus is eliminated. So squaring on both sides means 4x plus 9 whole square will be equal to RHS side. This plus or minus also we can remove because squaring means even minus becomes plus. So 9 PB square. Okay, so 4x plus 9 whole square, 16x square plus 81 plus 72x. So this is equal to 9 into what is PB square? So PB square already we have written here. See what is PB square? When we simplify we get like this, no? So PB square I will write directly. What we will get? X square plus 8x plus 16 plus y square. That's it. Just simplify, that is take all terms to one side. That will be the equation of locus of a point P x comma y. When you simplify means when you shift all terms to left side, you will get the required equation of locus. Okay, so we'll conclude here.